Okay, all good. Yeah, practice 4 in the books. Again, I thought it was a good day. I'm gonna give you guys a day off tomorrow. All right, you can kind of get out of the heat a little bit. Um, Man, our guys are pushing through. Proud of them for the way they're out there competing every single day. We still got a lot of things that we've got to get better at, but those guys are really doing a nice job of competing out there. So I'll take any questions you got.
Do you have any updated timetable when you expect Matthew to come back?
I do not.
Obviously, there are certain things you can't evaluate when you don't have the pads on. So what do you focus on in unpadded practices to evaluate guys?
Yeah, we're evaluating guys, how they move around. We're evaluating, do they know what to do? We're evaluating, do they know how to do it? And then we're evaluating whether they can execute it under pressure. And that's really what it's all about. And that won't change a whole lot in the pads. We'll just get a little bit more of a physical element to the game when that goes on. And, I think sometimes when you put the pads on, that ability to know what to do and how to do it kind of gets convoluted a little bit. And so that'll be what we'll kind of be looking for when we get back out there on Monday.
Yeah, you said yesterday wasn't quite as crisp as you wanted it to be. Was today?
I felt much better about today's practice. Man, our guys competed and battled. There was a little bit of back and forth. I think both sides of the ball had some good plays, and both sides of the ball had some things we got to improve on. But I thought this was a good spirited practice. I felt like, usually is when you get the first day with the fans out there. So I thought that was a good thing to have those guys out there.
Coach, offensively, you guys, it seemed like you're working on the ground game. Is that more or less to the running backs reps or offensive line or both?
Just part of the install. It's just part of the process. So we didn't work a lot on the run game in the spring, so we're getting a little bit more of that as we get in here to training camp.
Kind of seems like Chris Olave popped a couple times today. Just how have you seen him progress since he's been here?
Yeah, I think he's doing a good job. He did show up for me today. I thought that was good to see. Ran some really good routes, caught the ball, did some things with the ball once he had it in his hands. So that was obviously good to see. But again, now the thing is, do we keep putting those things back to back? And that's what all these young guys got to understand how to do. And I think he's mature enough to handle that.
Dennis, along those lines, the bomb to Olave, is that a busted coverage? Because he was like wide open. I know.
Well, look, here's the deal. Okay, so yes, it was. All right, and then number two is when the defense makes a mistake, we have to be able to capitalize on it and take advantage of it. And so that was, that's this game that we play. The game that we play really on Sundays, if you want to know the truth, it's a game of mistakes. And the team that makes the fewest of them and the team that can capitalize the most on them is the team that generally wins the game.
Was Mike Thomas a planned day off today?
Yeah, planned day off. Yeah, good to go. Should be ready to go on Monday.
Obviously, those back-to-back interceptions to start the day was rough opening for Jameis. What did you see from kind of?
I thought he responded the next two plays, and I told him that out on the field. That's what you have to be able to do. This game's not a perfect game played by perfect people, and there's going to be mistakes that are made, and how do you respond to them? I thought he did a nice job of responding.
You all have the fans back out here today. What makes coming to camp in New Orleans unique for Saints fans specifically?
The heat, number one. Look, and I've talked about this before. I think it's really about just the bond between this team and this city. And I think our fans understand how much they mean to us. And we certainly understand how much our fans mean to us. And hopefully, we mean the same to them. I think that's the case, too. So it's kind of a reciprocal deal.
How much are you looking forward to getting these guys in the pads and getting that evaluation Monday?
I think I said this yesterday, but we've had 4 days out in underwear, and now we get to play the game like the game's supposed to be played, and so I'm excited about seeing our guys get out here and play in that environment.
Hey Dennis, what kind of? I know Ramchek's just kind of like taking maybe some time away, but what gives you the confidence to kind of put Landon Young out there and let him get some reps on the first team? I guess we show you kind of your work.
Well, look, I mean, obviously, a couple things. I mean, there's depth chart, and he's next on the depth charts and next man up philosophy. You know, there's gonna be some guys, whether it be guys coming off of injury, whether it be guys that, you know, maybe a little bit more experienced, that are going to get a little bit of time off, and young guys are going to have to step up in those spots and be able to perform. And so, you know, it's interesting. It's one thing to see, you know, when we're in a 2s versus 2s or 3s versus 3, you know, how a young guy's performing, but then you really get a good evaluation when now all of a sudden they're up against the 1s, you know, or if you're working with the third group, now all of a sudden you're up against the 2s, because, you know, that's a competition that you're going to be dealing with on Sundays. So, you know, last year he didn't get a ton of snaps, but the snaps that he did get were pretty good, and so we feel good about where he's at.